Well, the snow has made its way to Arkansas and it's already causing some issues. This is video from northwest Arkansas where heavy snow started falling this morning. Thanks for watching. I'm Mackailyn Johnson in for Michael Aaron. Meteorologist Nathan Scott is here tracking the winter weather. Will we see something similar to what's happening in the northern part of the state?
Well, good afternoon, Mackailyn. This type of day is where I call it job security for meteorologists, because you step outside, it's sunny. It's beautiful here in central Arkansas. We've got temperature of 53 degrees. There's an area of dry air before the Arctic air arrives. You see the temperature difference, 37 in Russellville, 26 in Fayetteville. Now switch it over here to the radar and look at all the snow. And this snow is coming down at a pretty good clip, especially where those darker blues are showing up on Snowseeker. That is happening right over Newton County at this time. And if we can go to Storm Track 11 real quick, I want to show you what's happening in Newton County, if that's possible, because it is snowing very, very hard right around Edwards Junction, right where that heavy band is located at this time. It was dry ground, but now it looks like they've got at least an inch of snow in Newton County. So that is live from the iDrive Arkansas camera. Highway 21, Highway 16, that's what's headed in our direction, ladies and gentlemen, going into the latter part of the afternoon and evening hours. Back over to radar now, because we'll take a look. We already have storm reports coming in of 2 inches of snow in Fayetteville. So let's take through time here, because I don't want you to be caught off guard. Things will change dramatically going into the rest of the day. Snow will start to fly around Russellville and Hot Springs by 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. And it will be moderate to heavy snow moving into central Arkansas. It's going to look like a snow globe out there for the evening rush. It's a small window that will see moderate to heavy snow take place, but it will put down accumulating snow. I think the roads, for the most part, will be mainly wet. However, bridges and overpasses could have some slick spots. I'll let you know when the snow is out of here and how much we could see coming up.
Thanks, Nathan. As we watch the snow move in, steps are already being taken to make sure our roadways stay clear and safe. RDOT crews have been out since yesterday pre-treating roads across the state. While this is the third system we've seen since the beginning of February, Dave Parker with RDOT says they expect this one to be a quick one, but that doesn't mean they're letting their guard down.
We're not in that 24/7 schedule mode yet. We'll be out there today, tomorrow. We will not have a cruise out at night unless it's areas to the north, and we'll kind of see how it works. If we need to extend our hours, if we need to extend well into the weekend to make sure things are buttoned up, we're prepared to do that.
Expected to be a lot different than the last two we saw. It's still important to stay cautious if you have to travel. Don't get out if you don't have to, but if you do, be sure to check in with iDrive Arkansas to see how your route is looking. And now is a great time to make sure you have the THV 11 app on your phone. You'll get weather alerts for where you live along with live radar, so you can track the snow later today. It's free to download in the Apple App Store and Google Play. In breaking news this afternoon, Arkansas State Police are searching for a man who ran off with a 10-month-old baby from the scene of a car accident. Investigators responded to a crash on 28th Avenue in Pine Bluff this morning and say Tobias Wilson was seen running with 10-month-old Trinity Wilson. The baby has been found. No word on if Wilson has also been located. Stay with THV 11 and THV11.com for the very latest. And a former Arkansas sheriff is sentenced to 4 years in prison for assaulting 2 people that were in his custody. 54-year-old Anthony Bowen, who was the Franklin County sheriff, was convicted last August. Evidence showed he punched, spit, and body slammed the detainees. Along with his 4-year sentence, Bowen will have to pay a fine and have an additional 2 years of supervised release once his time is served. And an Arkansas school district is being sued for allegedly failing to prevent a teacher from sexually harassing a student. The lawsuit accuses officials at the Rector School District of knowing about Sarah Isom's inappropriate relationship with a student months before the teenager was assaulted and after parents of other students complained. Isom was arrested last August and pleaded guilty in October. Well, today marks 2 years since the first confirmed case of COVID-19 was reported here in Arkansas. And this afternoon, we want to show just how much of an impact the virus has had in our state since then. Since March 11th, 2020, there have been almost 825,000 COVID cases in Arkansas. In that time, more than 36,000 people have been hospitalized with the virus. And the number that really shows the toll COVID has taken on our state, our death toll. In the last 2 years, 10,836 people have died from the virus. Next, so where are we now? Here's a look at our current numbers. Right now, there are a little more than 2,400 Arkansans dealing with COVID-19. We haven't seen numbers like that since the beginning of last summer. Of that number, 280 are still fighting the virus from a hospital. Now, those numbers have led to some encouraging news. The CDC says almost all of Arkansas counties are now at a low or medium level for COVID-19. Only Ashley and Chico counties in southeast Arkansas are still classified as having a high level of community spread. That's an important drop, as a lot of the latest mask guidance is based on this map. In the counties in green and yellow, low-risk people can go mask-free indoors, but anyone at high risk for severe illness may still want to mask up. Same goes if you start having symptoms, a positive test, or if you're exposed to someone with COVID-19. President Biden and European allies are targeting Russia's ability to trade as Russian forces move closer to Ukraine's capital. The president this morning also announced the U.S. will ban several key Russian exports, including vodka and seafood. Natalie Brand has the announcement from the White House.
President Biden is calling on Congress to repeal permanent normal trade relations with Russia.
Putin is an aggressor. He is the aggressor, and Putin must pay the price.
This is a coordinated move with the European Union and G7 countries also taking that step. It will allow all of the nations to put new tariffs on Russian goods, hurting their exports.
Doing it in unison with other nations that make up half of the global economy will be another crushing blow to the Russian economy. It's already suffering very badly from our sanctions.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is issuing new threats that Russia may seize the assets of American companies that have suspended operations in the country. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki tweeted that would ultimately result in even more economic pain for Russia. Congress has passed nearly $14 billion in additional assistance for Ukraine with overwhelming bipartisan support. But there is a divide between the administration and a group of lawmakers over Ukrainian President Zelensky's request for fighter jets.
He has asked us for aircraft, specifically MiGs. We need to get in those MiGs.
Dozens of GOP lawmakers sent a letter to the president imploring him to expedite the transfer of aircraft and air defense systems through NATO partners such as Poland. But the administration opposes the plan, calling it a high-risk move.
Moscow could well see the provision of this type of asset as escalatory.
In what could be an attempt to cut off Ukraine's flow of weapons, Russian forces have expanded their attacks on western areas of the country, and they are now about 10 miles from the center of the capital city of Kyiv. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The fighting overseas continues to pack a punch at the gas pump. Overnight, AAA reported the average price of regular unleaded in Arkansas jumped again to $3.90 a gallon. That's just 7 cents away from the previous record high average of $3.97, which was set back in July of 2008. A lot of people now searching for ways to save. You can find a list of tips to keep your tank and wallet full right now on THV11.com. And we're a little more than an hour away from another round of Hog Hoops. The Arkansas Razorback men's basketball team is in Tampa, warming up for their first game of the SEC tournament. And THV 11 is there for all the action. Tyler Cass and Sierra Clark are live in Tampa. How are we feeling ahead of the game, guys?
Oh, feeling excited. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for almost an entire week. Arkansas finally back in action. Friday's here. Quarterfinals are here. Heck, the #1 seed Auburn is struggling at halftime. The Hogs, they get LSU once this game ends. Of course, it's not the first time these two teams have met this season.